So this sample we're going to do a blind hem. Now blind hem is probably one of the trickiest finishes to do because you just have to set it up right to begin with. So I've already overlocked my edge, and your blind hem has the largest seam allowance. Oh, sorry, not seam, hem allowance. Remembering seams at the side, hem is at the bottom of the garment. So we're going to do 3 centimeters. I'm going to mark my 3 on there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to iron that up. So folding at the mark, I'm going to iron that. So I'll iron that now. I won't show you how to do that. You should know how to do that. And then I'm going to show you what you can do to get set up for the blind hem. So looking at getting set up for the blind hem, you remove your normal presser foot and you put a G presser foot on. Now the G has this part here which moves. You just roll that and it will move that plastic depending on where you need to line it up. For the stitch, you need stitch 8 and your settings 2.5 width and 2 length. So this blind hem is exactly that. It's a hem that you can't see the stitch line. Well, if you look hard, you can see it, but when you match your thread color to your fabric color, it should be pretty invisible. Now to get organized and work out where this goes, we need to have a look at our stitch. So I'm going to pop this under and I'm going to use my hand wheel to see where the big section, when you look up here at the stitch, so just trying to get it to focus. We have a big zigzag followed by 2 small ones and a big one. So we're looking at that big zigzag, and we want that big zigzag to hit, that's a little zigzag, basically in line with that plastic section there, that plastic bit that sits out, and you'll see how it makes a blind hem. So I've got mine set up fine. All you have to do to set it up is when you get to the big zigzag stitch, leave your needle in and you just roll this either way to get it to move so it sits in line with that needle. So now we can look at how this blind hem actually works. It is a little bit tricky, but I've got my hem allowance ironed, I've got my edge overlocked as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch these 2 layers together and I'm just going to fold back that overlocked section so that is showing, and I have a fold here. So if you look at that, so that's my hem. I'm going to fold back and have it like that. It's a bit confusing, but you'll see why. And then what you do is you line up this fold up against that plastic edge and you kind of push it into it a little bit. And then when you stitch, keeping that fold pushed up against the plastic, you see here, it should catch that fold when it does the big zigzag stitch. Just try and keep your fold nice and even as well, so you kind of line it up with the edge of the overlocking. See if that caught. Alright, so looking at that, you can see it does the stitch. It caught some of them, but not others, along that overlocked edge. Then every now and then it will do that big zigzag, which should catch that fold. So when you unfold it, you can see there's these little parts where it's just caught. So you can imagine if I had a pink thread, you probably wouldn't notice that. There are a couple points which it looks like it didn't catch there. You could just go back over that point there. But I think overall, that's a pretty good finish because it is quite a tricky hem to achieve.